See, I don't think that I'm really attractive, okay? I don't think I'm really hot. I think I'm just about average, okay? But when you factor in my personality, I'm also not attractive.
That's pretty funny. That's a pretty good one.
If you got to do 50-50, that means you're half of a man. Oh, they don't like. I wish I had more men here today. Because both of us got punished for when the sin came in the world. The women's was to be birthing children and go through pain and go through menstrual bleeding. You can't handle that. And a man's job was to work from sun up to sundown.
Oh, it says they're in Douglasville, Georgia. For some reason, I thought this was going to be in Georgia. Really, honestly and truly, I thought this was going to be in Atlanta. So basically, in Atlanta for all intents and purposes. Yeah, this is stupid. And for some reason, I had a weird hunch that it was going to be all women in this crowd too, or mostly women.
This is a question for all single straight men. Is it true that single straight men in 2025 just don't want to be with women at all? I've really just gathered that men don't want to be with women these days because I've encountered some men who act like they're attracted to me, act like they want to hang out with me, but they're just super inconsistent. And I've come to some conclusions as to why this is, but I would like the men to answer me. I feel like men admitting that they want to be with women requires them to look inside themselves and do some work, and men don't want to do that. I also think that because women are now at a place where we can provide for ourselves, men aren't needed for what they used to be needed for, so maybe men feel like they don't have to be with women. I need answers.
You probably don't want the answers that men give, so there's that.
The older I get, the less attractive thugs are to me. The black community likes to glamorize struggle love. But I'm starting to realize that it's 4 options out of me dating a thug. Either he's finna go to jail, he's finna die, I'm finna go to jail, or I'm finna die. A lot of women lose their life just from dating thugs. But y'all can keep that. I want a rich businessman.
You know, there's a lot of black people out there telling you that. There's a lot of black men out there telling you that. You just choose to remain ignorant. Somebody in the comments was like, AKA, I'm done being passed around in trap houses. Now that I'm used up, I want a stand-up man. Pretty much.
Y'all gotta stop with all this 50-50 gaslighting, but let's get to the fact. Got a Filipino co-worker male, he's a nurse. Guess who don't pay no bills? The wife. So the real thing is that there are grown men out here who do not make good decisions on their career choices and how to manage their money. And therefore, they need a woman's help to help them pay the bills.
Me not paying your bills doesn't mean that I made bad decisions in my career path. It just means for once, we want to see you stand on being independent. Stand on being most educated. If you're performing at the pace that you guys claim that you're performing at, why is it so important to you that you get a man who can also pay your bills then?
Cat. Enoch Judah said, you know, in all my days of spending money, 50% off was always an offer you can't refuse. It's some kind of witchcraft going on. If you're not a wife, you're disqualified from 100%. And if you got 3 kids also, stupid.
So check this out. Why? Because Dre had said this. Why do women feel unheard? And why do men feel misunderstood?
Well, I'm going to say they feel unheard because they're doing too much talking themselves.
I
I'm dead.
Funny
I
how
was
you
finna say they feel unheard because y'all ain't communicating.
No.
We doing all the talking
no,
and y'all not responding.
Women-
That's the problem.
It's funny how you
Women-
answered the woman question first instead of
That's the
woman.
one you asked me.
I said, okay, you correct. I did ask the
see
full
what I mean?
statement.
You
Hold
see
on.
how she's attacking me for answering the question that she asked me?
I'm
we
saying
talk too much. Y'all done
you
too
went
much.
to something that technically you don't know much about.
What do you mean?
Technically,
How?
because you're a man, and I'm not
That's-
saying. Look, I'm not
she
doing
asked
it.
me a question.
No.
You see the community. You see the
Calm.
imbalance right now.
Relax.
No.
was just
You
saying.
asked me a question.
Why
I
didn't- I'm
answered,
saying-
and you telling
I'm
me
saying-
my answer is wrong.
No. I never said that. Miscommunication, yo. Hey, this is exactly why we're doing it. This is exactly why we're doing this. We're gonna get to the communication
Go ahead.
aspect first.
I'm listening.
The reason I said, why did you jump to the woman answer first than the man? Because you should. Why didn't you answer why men feel misunderstood first? You see what I'm saying? I'm only saying that
you
because
asked me, why do women feel unheard?
this is for the whole panel right now. Okay, this is for everybody to answer. But then it was just
But
funny
you
to me that
directed-
you went.
You directed it at me. You said, "So Dre, I got a question for you."
I didn't say.
What?
Did
yes,
I say Dre?
Yes, you did. You looked right. Can we play it back?
I looked at you, but I did not
I
say.
looked at you,
I didn't
but
say
you
Dre.
didn't.
I said
You
so.
lied.
I said Dre, ask this question.
You said who?
You asked this question.
No, you said exactly right, which
Yeah.
means, and you were looking at me. So in my
you
eyes,
asked the question.
you were directing it towards me. But
Okay.
we're gonna answer.
Correct.
Ask it again, and I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
Why do women feel unheard, and why do men feel misunderstood?
Spending money on men is so abstract to me, or just doing anything for them that's not sentimental. Like, if it's not sentimental, there's nothing I would do for a man. My dad is the type.
There we go. The I secretly want to date my dad card every time without fail. It's like they're like, okay, I'm already making a bad take. How can I make it worse? Okay, let's imply that I want to sleep with my dad. And I think she basically went on to say, oh, my dad's the type of guy, like, he doesn't want anything done for him like that, whatever. He just wants respect, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you have the emotional intelligence that I promise you claim to have, you would understand that people who don't like receiving things as adults, don't like getting gifts, it's because when they were growing up, they didn't get anything as a child. So they're very uncomfortable, and this is such a real thing. They don't understand how to accept gifts. The same way where someone didn't grow up with their parents telling them they love them with affection, they can be very uncomfortable with things like that as an adult. Like, honey, your dad had childhood trauma, and you're so preoccupied with the fact that you want to sleep with him that you can't think to yourself, oh man, maybe I don't want to recreate this. Maybe I should help my dad learn how to accept people doing nice things for him. Maybe I should treat people how I want to be treated rather than just leeching and freeloading the rest of my life.
Somebody in the comments said, stop that, my dad. Thank you. Because they continue to bring this foolishness up. Your life is going to be miserable. A man would be miserable to be with you. Y'all are not good people, bro.
But she's like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just letting you know that I'm still feeling these emotions, and you're hitting me with logic. But sometimes you got to take the logic away and just be able to sit and hear me and be able to hear my emotions and meet me with emotions and not meet me with logic.
So I hear him, or I hear her on the give me logic with emotion, because I hear it, right? You come to me with logical things all the time, but I don't want to hear that because I'm in my emotion right now. I'm feeling whatever it is I'm feeling, and I want to live in that. And then you come and tell me why this isn't going to work, or it's not the best decision. And it does sound like an order or a command, and I have no room for emotion in that. So I get that part. And I do agree that when you come with logic, you also have to come with some softness to it, some love and care behind it, right? I agree with that. The other part that I think that we are leaving off is, while we are asking you to come with more emotion behind it, we also have to come with more logic behind our emotion, because we cannot just function in emotion. Emotion will have you out here quitting jobs and you don't have no backup. Emotion will have you out here leaving happy, healthy relationships because in this moment I'm emotional. Emotional will have you making bad decisions because you act rashly instead of looking at all sides. So it's a balancing act from both sides. Whether and let me be clear, just like a woman is in her emotion and a man is in his logic, it can be flipped. It could be the woman giving off all the logic and the man with all the emotion. You have to find the in between where both of you have some logic and emotion in there, so you can work together, and it works, because again, sometimes you do need a little bit of emotion. Sometimes logic is not the only way. Sometimes your logic, yes, it's sound, it's right, it's the quote unquote best thing to do, right? But the emotion as in the human aspect of it.
You know, sometimes people, men and women, be upset, but it comes down to how long you want to stay upset. Men don't have the option, or else they're called sassy and not real men, to stay in their emotion. So they can be upset, sad, happy, whatever it is. You got to get back to work darn near immediately. But for some of these ladies, they be in their emotions sometimes for years. Some of these men, and that's why some of these divorces are happening. Because some of these, you know what? You got it. You got it. Basically, I understand you wanting to be in your emotions, but come on up out of that.
I hate when I see a man that's so fine and then I pass him and he doesn't say anything. Like when people say, oh, girls don't shoot, they shot. Yes, they do. If I look at you like this, like say you walking this way and I'm walking like this, and if I look at you like this, that's me shooting my shot. Come say something.
If I'm focused on making money and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, why would I notice you side-eyeing folks?
So you're telling me you've been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years, but you cheated on your blue-collar man who's been taking care of you and your children. You cheated on him not once, not twice, but he done caught you coming back home for the third time. You say that he's always traveling and he's never at home, but you wasn't being satisfied or pleasure. Baby, it only take 3 inches. It only take 3. But you wanted to work. Welcome back to the workforce. Welcome back to the workforce. No tears over here. Big girl panties.
The thing that is making women the most angry lately is this idea that men don't want women who've spent their youth being promiscuous. A lot of people might wonder why, especially when it's traditional women who are upset about this, because traditional women should understand that, right? No, they don't. A lot of them don't. And here's why. We have been taught from a pretty young age that it's good for women to be soured. If a man has a problem with that, it's probably insecure or weak or really controlling and doesn't want you to be strong and independent or empowered. Traditional women, for example, they've probably not been with a whole lot of men, but they've been with more than they would have. Now, with this being said, there are a lot of women out there who are just aggressively defending promiscuity because they're ashamed and they don't want to accept the truth. But this is something we're going to have to come to terms with, because the male loneliness epidemic is not going to be solved by the Virgin Mary, okay? It is going to probably be solved by people, normal people who have pasts that aren't perfect. We have to understand that there is some middle ground here. We just have to find it.
Middle ground is growing and learning from your mistake. It shouldn't take you 20, 30, 40 bodies in order to figure out, hey, maybe I ought to slow down a little bit. Just a little bit. Slow down. Slow down. I don't think men even said don't have these experiences. They just said, why do you have so many? Why? And then the answer and response is, are you insecure? The response is, well, if you could do it, then you probably would. Do you ever think that maybe there are some men out there that wouldn't?
Is this what we think of fathers now? Usually when we walk in for Mother's Day, you know, there's a huge section in the women's clothing that has balloons and cards and everything you could think of. But looking here, there's nothing. There's nothing by the women's. There's nothing by the food. There's nothing. They had a little card section way over behind like all the July 4th stuff. Nothing pointing to it. So do better, Walmart.
And really, honestly and truly, I'm thinking she came to this epiphany because she went in with her child, I would assume, to get her husband or her man something. And she's like, where's the display? Usually for Mother's Day, the display is right there. Like you can just walk in, get a couple of things, boom, 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 check out and go home. But you're making me really search for this stuff. What are we doing? Why are we treating fathers like this? Bingo. This is what men been saying for a long time. A man has to command respect darn near in every situation, especially in relationships. For some of these people, to be fair. But a woman, for some of these ladies, they're expecting it at the front. Great metaphor here. At the front, they're expecting it right there. Flowers, gifts, whatever you want, bags, right there at the front. Come in, get all of this stuff. Actually, get all of it and give it all to me right there up front. But a man, he got to search. He got to take whatever he can get whenever he can get it. Oh, I can get this shirt, or I can get maybe this card. And you got to search through them. It's not really for you. They're not cards made specifically for you. They're kind of like general thank you cards. Well, you know, all in all, they know who to market to. So
I should have been I could have. I wouldn't be working. Like, I should have just sold it. I should have just sold it.
Ladies, what are we doing to these men? And men, are you okay? I was on a date last night. A third date. You didn't ask, but it was a third date. And I saw this woman wearing this gorgeous dress. Like, she looks stunning. So I say to this date of mine, I say, you know, look at that dress. Like, she looks awesome. I was like, no, not looking. Like, I'm testing him or something. I'm like, no, like, you should, like, I want you to see the dress. Like, you should look at the dress. Like, who traumatized you that you can't look at a girl in a dress? And he finally does. And he's, for like 2 seconds, and he's like, you look better in it. Yeah, it's safe to say he's talked to a woman before. Man, are you all traumatized? Have we traumatized you that you can't look at, you can't just like, you can't look anywhere? Just us.
If you're in a relationship and you are trying to decide, like, is this the one? Is he husband material? I have a little test that you can do, okay? To kind of put yourself into the future, kind of see what you're getting yourself into, okay? This is based off of personal experience, all right? You are in the future, you both have busy lives, maybe you have kids, maybe you have busy jobs, whatever the situation, that doesn't really matter. The scenario is your husband gets a phone upgrade, and in order to get the free upgrade, he has to turn in his current phone. And so he gives it to you, and he says, hey, next time you're out, can you just drop my phone off at a Verizon store? Easy enough, right? You're like, yeah, sure, no problem. You put it in your purse, you forget it exists. For 3 months, you forget. And he brings it up like one other time. He's like, hey, did you ever drop that phone off? And you're like, oh no, I'll do it though. 3 months go by, and he comes to you and he's like, hey, did you ever turn in that phone? And he goes, well, dang, I got charged $1,000 because this phone never got returned. So let's hop in the car and go ahead and go return it. So you go to return it. He's in the car with the kids. You run in and you're like, hey, I was supposed to turn in this phone months ago. I forgot. Is there any way you can help me? The person who is like working at the phone store is like, I'll do my best, but I can't make any promises. At best, you can get $100 back, but you might be out the $900. However, you can have a free upgrade today. So you get your phone upgraded, but he still might be out $900, okay? So you go back out to the car and you're like, oh, here's the scenario. We'll know in a couple of months if they accept the rebate or if you are just up a creek. How does he respond? What's his reaction to this very realistic scenario where it's completely your fault? You just completely might have cost him almost $1,000 for like no reason. You could have very easily accomplished said task. Let me know.
Priscilla Danilla says, my problem is I feel like this is a very valid thing for them to be upset about. And if the roles were reversed, I would be furious if he cost me that much money because he forgot to do something. Exactly. Cat's Meow said, I don't think this is a great example because anyone would definitely be mad about $1,000.
Not to be dramatic, but if one more person tells me that I'll find my person when I least expect it, I'm gonna file a restraining order.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally feel like broke men vacations. I feel like broke men cannot go on vacation for 4 days because they only worry about getting money or getting back to money. But I feel like a successful man, a man with some money put up, They want to enjoy the fruit of their labor. They want to go on vacations, to drink some margaritas, to be by the bar, to go experience life. That's just how I personally feel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you ever been on a vacation with a nigga was broke and was he wanting to get back home? Or have you been on vacation with a rich nigga wanted to ball out and stay out there? They was like, we finna move out here. But you had to extend the trip because the nigga had so much money to spend.
You're definitely wrong. But you knew that. You knew you were wrong.
My ex's financial advisor told him to break up with me because he was spending way too much money dating me. Mind you, at the time we had been dating consistently for 9 months and he never once complained about paying for my girl maintenance, helping me out with bills around the house or classes that I wanted to take, emptying out shopping carts and everything. We always did really nice dates, dressed up, and I would always get like a new dress or a new outfit every time we went out. Like I said, he never once complained, so I never saw a problem with it. But he decided to have a financial advisor actually go over his account, and he told him that he might want to cut back on how much he's spending on these dates. So he decided to bring it to my attention. I'm like, okay, babe, are you having a financial issue? He's like, no, actually, I'm actually making more money with you. I'm like, so why should I have to take less? Like, we sit around and we talk about our future, kids. We planned out our wedding and everything, and you sit up here and tell me I should take less right now? If anything, I'm finna start asking you for more. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, he's my advisor, and this is what he advised, so I think that we should abide by it. Maybe we should just do a little bit less. I'm like, okay, are you investing in a business, going back to school, or anything like that I should know about? Because if that's the case, then I have no problem being a supportive girlfriend. Possibly no problem. He was like, no, I'm just doing what my advisor say. He said that we should save money, so I feel like we should save money and cut back on these dates. Needless to say, I wasn't really having it and was like, yeah, we can go now, contact 90 days. I don't care. During the 90 days, all I did was go to the gym. But just like a man, he decided to reach out to me after 90 days and wanted to let me know that he was talking to somebody else. And not to necessarily make me jealous, just me and my ex, we had rapport like that to let each other know, like, if we were really dealing with somebody. He told me the girl that he was dealing with was hella cool. She would come through, cook, clean, play the game with him, smoke, and drink. I was like, okay, I guess that's where you need to be then. Click. Hung up the phone right in his face because, like, what? He called me right back and was like, stop playing. Like, she cool or whatever, but I'm trying to see what's up with you. I'm like, what do you mean what's up with me? Like, weren't you dating this girl? Didn't you guys go out on dates and stuff like that? He was like, nah, I really can't say that we was dating. We didn't really do no, like, formal dates, but we was catching a vibe. Like, she a vibe or whatever. I was like, okay, I guess the vibe must be over. He was like, I miss you. I'm trying to, double the block and see what's up with you. I was like, so you literally had a girl that was over there for free, cooking, cleaning, letting you play the game, doing everything that you would think that a man would, like, actually like, and you're telling me, like, that wasn't enough? Like, it was free, my dude, right? I'm like, be honest. Are you hitting that? Like, did you crack? He was like, yeah, hella times. Yeah. Day one. I was like, oh, okay then. Well, I don't know what you're talking to me for because I'm not going to be free or take less. He knew that because, like, when we even started talking, he knew how my ex was coming behind me, the one before him. And so he was like, I'm going to match his energy or do better. And baby, he was. Needless to say, he just felt like something was off for her for the fact that she would do all of that cooking and cleaning and putting out for a man and not being taken on no dates or, like, nothing special. He said he didn't even get her no flowers. He was just like, the fact that she's over here doing this for free makes me think of, like, how many other men she did this with or is willing to do this with. I was like, so I'm too expensive. She's too free. There's no winning with you guys. He's like, I'm looking for a happy medium. I'm like, bro, a happy medium is probably your wife. Wives will compromise with their husbands. A lot of times they just compromise to keep the peace in the home. I'm the girlfriend. I'm letting you know what I'm going to accept now early on so that there's no confusion later. I don't want to have to accept less because you just had some dude tell you that you should figure out a way to save money. But yet, does your financial advisor know that you bought a PlayStation? Because when we were together, he didn't even play games.
I honestly think y'all are on the same wavelength. He talking foolishness and so are you.
Y'all want to know why it was rude to ask women their age back in the day? Because they were underage.
Oh my God,
not because,
bro.
oh, you never supposed to ask a woman her age because of aging. No, y'all grandpas.
Y'all infatuation with underage dating is really starting to concern me. What I am most curious about is where the she find this information, and how could she verify that it's even valuable and legit information? Now, she does strike me as a woman with an IQ of a toaster, but that's not the problem here. Like I've said in many of my videos, the problem is I know that's not an original thought by her. That is just hours spent on social media watching some creator say some outlandish about men. That's all it is. I refuse to believe she can formulate that kind of thought on her own accord. It is unfortunate that our educational system has taken us this far in life and it continues to fail. I don't understand what's really going on. Every day that goes by, I realize that the program No Child Left Behind has done us a disservice because some of y'all definitely should have been left behind. We are better off without y'all. That keep the change.
And there's a woman in the comments basically going back and forth, talking to him about how essentially what you're trying to say is that men are predators. That's what you're trying to say. Let's go with that theory, right? Let's go with that theory. Men are still asking, what is your age today? And guess who's saying you don't ask a woman her age? It's usually an older woman. So it wouldn't even matter if men were predators, because it's an older woman not wanting to disclose her age. If they really wanted men not to be predators, don't you think that they would be happy and say, well, you know, I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you're asking to make sure that I'm not underage. And if the man is, I don't know, 25, and you say, well, I'm 22. Oh, too old for me. Now you know there's something wrong with this guy. But if you're like, you don't ask a woman her age, then it might seem like you're trying to appear younger than you actually are, and you don't want to disqualify yourself from certain men. Or maybe there's another reason, but y'all trying to make it seem like men are predators when maybe y'all just need to say how old y'all are. Stop being weird.
Men, one of the best things that I think you can do if you have a daughter is tell her how it is. Be real with her. Tell her straight. Tell her what men do, how they act, and what they expect. Because sadly, a lot of times girls enter into the world without that male guidance because the woman or the wife has interfered too much, and that lack of knowledge and everything that she can get from her father, a brother, a grandfather isn't there. And so she goes into the world not really knowing what to do. So yes, I know that sometimes the mother or other females involved discourage you from raising and disciplining your daughter the way that you want to do. So that's when you just have to be adaptable and flexible and just find a different way around it. But just don't give up. Make sure that you're educating her and sharing your knowledge with her, because that's one thing that I truly am grateful for. My father told me how it was. I had a lot of very good men, very masculine men in my life that I got to see the real world. So when I entered it, I didn't get hit in the face with a surprise. So that's what I think. Let me know what you do in the comments.
So you called us because your man done went upside your head, and now because you realize he pay all the bills, you wanna drop the charges, but because you got bruises, the state picked up the charges. Who said that? Who in my car? Who in my car?
This is what men will never understand about being a woman. Yesterday, I felt like the most badass, most confident I've ever felt. And then 24 hours later, which is today, I just want to break down. I feel like I just want to isolate myself. I just want to cry in the corner, just cry it out. I don't know what's wrong. I mean, I probably know what's wrong, but I can't point out what's wrong. I just want to cry. And I feel like I want to hide. But that's just being a woman. And we don't complain about it.
Dre Doing Work says, every time I hear stuff like this, I always wonder, do you really know men? They swear we ain't human, and it's insane, bruh. I've literally been in therapy for this exact same thing she's talking about. So like, huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
All right, so I've seen this comment a few times. So my question to the men, how do we do this? As a woman, like, what do we do? Do we like give you a look? Do we bite our bottom lip? That was my upper lip. But what do we do? Like, I'm awkward as so I don't know how to be fun and flirty and do the whole, like, I don't know how to do that. No, I'm gonna size you up and be like, hey, give me your number. That's a little aggressive. So what is your advice?
These men are literally calling women's bluff. They're literally in my comments like, nah, boo boo. No matter what you say, women are still gonna deal with us. No matter what you say, as soon as a man comes into the picture, all of what you're saying is gonna fly out the window when it comes to women. But at the same time, they're in my comment section saying things like, why are you trying to push singleness onto other women? Like, they want you to go head over heels and go crazy over them. They need that. They need you women to be delusional the way that you women are. When it I love him, but I love him. That's what they want y'all to do. Y'all are giving these men exactly what they want while you're getting nothing in return. They don't even want you. If you ask a man for money after you done gave them your body, time, and soul, if you ask a man for money, the first thing he's going to do is call you a 304. So then you women try so hard to live up to a man's standards and not ask him for money and not be seen as a. Why do y'all value men's opinions? So like, what is it about a man that makes you want to say, oh, I need to cover up and do what this man says, like he's God or something? Even though a lot of women are waking up, I'm not gonna not acknowledge those women, but a lot of women are still asleep, and it's like they're like a man is their God. And that's why men feel like they're the prize.
I think at some point in time, you gotta have some sort of self-awareness. Obviously men, but as women, you need to be self-aware of what's actually going on. You guys sit up here. Why would you cover up for a man? Why would you not? It's a simple answer. Because you love the man, because you respect the man. I mean, would you want a man to continue liking another woman's photos? No. But if he's single, technically he can do that, right? But you wouldn't want a man to be out here, even if he's single, liking another woman's photos. You would want him to express and display for you discipline. I understand you're single. I understand you're not seeing nobody. But I don't want you to be just out here just giving every woman attention. I want to know that your mind is exclusive, like you mean what you say. But then somehow, when y'all get into a relationship, y'all don't think that y'all have to show any exclusivity. Y'all think a man should be paying everything for you guys, but then for some reason, y'all just think that y'all have to show up. Who does that? If your boss requires your silly behind to be on that job site from 8 to 5, not a minute late. Not a minute late. You're going to be here at 8. Actually, if you get here on time, you're late. Get here at about 7:45, 7:30 if you're a good employee. That means, and you're going to take it, I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. Mama, I got to go home. I can't stay up here talking. Okay, friend, I got to be back. I got to be at home. I got to do my whole face routine and be up there at the job site. I'm going to be up there all day, bored and all. Don't go home for lunch. I got to sit up there on the clock for lunch. Then, I need to stay a little bit later. You don't have no problem with that. Don't get off until 7. Gotta fight traffic. Really, honestly and truly, don't get home until 8:30. Shower, eat, get back in the bed and do it all over again the next day. And you never have a problem with that. But if a man should say, hey, I feel like maybe we're committed to each other, so maybe even if you did that in the past, you shouldn't show yourself to all of these other men, then all of a sudden you don't want to work no more. You can't understand the concept of this is what I want. This is what I like for my woman. But when the boss tells you this is what I expect and this is what I like for my employees, you can understand it then. But when a man who is supposed to, my boss pays me, your boss does exactly that. They pay you. Too many times we hear, your boss don't really care about you. Your boss don't really mess with you like that. They would get another person in your place automatically. But the man you're expecting to pay for everything, be a therapist, lean on you, be a rock for you, provide anything and everything, just whatever you need that man to be, he needs to be that. He needs to be that to you, and he needs to be that for you. Communicate at the top, at the highest level. Be ultra fine. Have an ultra bag, ultra 6-pack, all of those things, and he still can't get no respect from you. All of those things, and you're still talking about he's insecure if he wants you to cover up a little bit. Are you guys slow?
3 in one sitting. Is there any need? Let's make some magic.
Is it that you don't like me enjoying my life, or you don't want to see me happy? Which one is it?
I just think
Which one is it?
It's just
I don't drink, I don't go out, I don't party.
So excessive mini roll consumption it is.
Is it the happiness that makes you angry that I'm happy? Is seeing me happy? It's like when I nap. I can't have a nap.
Would you allow a child to have 3?
I'm 40 years old.
The fact that this man is logically reasoning through why his wife has a problem with him having too many snacks, it's honestly another demonstration of what men are willing to put themselves through for the sake of love. The sad part is that guys like this, they deserve better. But good men are also extremely loyal, so he's not going to just get up and leave because he's unhappy in the marriage. No, he's going to reason through it, and he's going to try to get his wife to see the light. He's going to try to get her to treat him better, or he's at least just going to cope with it and do what he wants. He's going to eat the snacks. But the even sadder part is that if down the line, like years from now, his wife decides that she's not happy and she wants to leave the marriage, that man is going to be single and then probably want to stay single because of how he was treated. He was actually pretty unhappy in the relationship, and that's how he's going to view relationships. So why would he get into another one?
He's acting like he knows how to read.
Make sure
Taking my money, yeah.
Okay. Goodness gracious. This is right.
You and I were married. You had a life together. You still have to maintain their lifestyle. She'll be the only one you're paying child support for unless you're going to be having anybody popping out babies. Your guy is going to have another baby we've.
No! Let's see your mom. Your mom's for her mouth.
You're going to have a new girlfriend and get give her a baby.
Mom, no, you're tricking me.
I am tricking you. I'm just joking.
We're divorced! Happy Father's Day! You're a single man! You're a single man, friend! Happy Father's Day!
Yeah, I got my court papers, thank you.
Here's his divorce paperwork. He got delivered on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Who want to holler at me, holler at me.
He's a single man, ladies. He's up for grabs. He's up for grabs. All right. They looking for a stepmama. Nibby right here. They looking for a stepmama. Happy Father's Day, fam.
A woman in the comments said, shouldn't some things just be private? Another woman said, this whole thing is mad weird. Give that man some space and stop grabbing him. Girl, why are you glued to him like that? Respect his space. This isn't cute. It's giving boundary issues. Let that man breathe and move on. Another woman said, I actually think he should start a new family. I don't know why you're trying to manipulate him or guilt him into not doing so by putting your child in it. It shouldn't matter what he does. He's single now. Congrats, brother. Hope your life continues to be great. Another woman, if I gotta pay you $10K a month, I'm reading everything too. Another woman. These women are eating her up in the comments. Thank you for your service, by the way. His sister passed, and you're still rushing him to sign them papers. They don't care. They don't care. Why would they care about that? Why would they be worried about how he feels? What's going on with him? Turn this off. This is stupid. This is just stupid. This man is clearly trying to do something, and you all up in his space. This is what men don't like. This is what men stay away from. This is why men stay single. They don't want to be bothered with this type of, divorce don't gotta look ugly. It's probably the best our relationship has ever been in a long time. This is so stupid. Shut up. Leave that man alone. You fronting for the camera. Leave him alone. Please. Goodness. You probably want to go do something. Maybe he does too. You probably want to go do something and you don't want to be bothered. And y'all just say, you know what? Let's just break up. Okay then. If that's the case, let's just break up then. But now you trying to take what he got going on. If you want to be alone, if you want to go do what you want to go do, if you want to be outside, then go outside. Why you need his money to do it? 50-50. Just can't do it. Because you want to do what? Maintain your lifestyle. You want to break up, but you don't want to maintain your lifestyle. You want him to do that.
Dang, y'all are making me work today. No, I did not cheat on him with his sister's husband. He has 2 sisters aside from her, if that's what you want to call her. One was married, and I wouldn't touch that man with a 10-foot pole. You couldn't pay me $1 million to touch that man. His other sister has never been married. If she is referring to, again, this doesn't make it right, but his sister has a child who is with this man, and that relationship is 23 years old. Okay, again, it doesn't make it right, but they were together in like middle school. Okay, so it's not like as bad as she's trying to make it seem. I get it's not ideal, right? But we can't help who we like. Okay, I'm sorry. And it was a mutual decision, so whatever. And yeah, so I was gonna get to that, but people love to tell my story for me. But since she wants to air that part out, the part that I was saving for a story time was the whole adultery thing. And I will give like a full story time on it. But just, to keep y'all engaged, I guess, the whole adultery thing, it was multiple times, but the last, or the one that, like, what was it? What's the saying? The straw that broke the camel's back, was with a, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I don't know if she was officially but I know that she did exchanges she did favors for, again, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. So he was supplying a girl's fet addiction in exchange for a girl that is the same age as his oldest daughter. So again, it's a lot. So his sister or whoever can try to make me look like bad. Yes, who I decided to engage with was, frowned upon, but I didn't do it to be malice. I didn't do it out of malice. I didn't do it to out of revenge. I genuinely fell for the guy. I've known him for over a decade. We've been friends for over a decade. Yes, of course I met him through my husband. So yeah, it was messy. It was messy. But it doesn't even touch all the things that he's done to me. And 2 wrongs don't make a right. I totally understand. And I know I'm crazy for putting all of my business out on the internet, but it's my story. I was going to write a book anyways, and I still am. But I have a crazy, crazy, crazy story, and people can try and make me look like I'm this bad person. I'm not. I still pray for him. I mean, I've always prayed for him. I pray for him every night, along with others who don't deserve. I shouldn't say that, but I pray for a lot of people that you would be surprised. Okay, I want him to be happy. I want him to be healed. He has done some crazy, horrible things that his sister, his family, nobody knows. And I probably won't even share some because, again, I'm not here to destroy him. I was just here to tell my story. But if she wants to try and destroy me, I mean, I hate that he's going to be caught in the crossfire between his sister and his ex-wife because regardless, that man does love me. I mean, we're not in love, but we built a family together. He's got my back. He's an addict. He has a he suffers from severe alcoholism. So when he's drunk, he does some wild things. So you might see him on here. I mean, she's staying with him right now while they're, this whole ordeal with losing their sister and stuff. So she might catch him on a drunk night and get him to say some crazy things. Let me know so I can try and tell you my piece, because I can guarantee you it won't be true. I'm an honest person. I promise. I've done things that I'm not proud of. I'm not perfect, but I'm honest. Take accountability, and I've owned up to my shit. So yeah,
this is getting worse. So she's saying they were separated. I know in the eyes of the law that it's still cheating, but there are some people who never get divorced and just move on as being separated. I was implying that I never cheated until we both decided to just cohabitate. Another woman said, girl, even if y'all were together or not. Why would you sleep with his best man? She's, you know what, these women, man.
5 days till my birthday and the gifts start rolling in. One thing about my baby daddy, he will never address me as Quinn. So messy. Ain't she pretty? 3 days till my birthday. Time for some new hair. My girl's gonna put some extensions in for me. That is all my length though. We just doing it for some fullness. 3 days till my birthday, and my bestie Leah is gonna get me right with the lashes and the fresh brows every time. 2 days till my birthday. Come with me to get a pedi. I'm going on a trip next week, so this is not just birthday nails. These are also vacation nails. And my girl Mina or her husband Nam, they make sure to get me right every time. Big time yapper, but also doing a little work while she's getting these toes ready. Aren't they pretty? 1 day till my birthday. I had to get up out of them pants because it was way too hot in that bathroom. Yes, I did my own mani. I am fully capable of doing a regular gel polish. We ballin' on a budget. A little staycation at a nice little hidden gem in Culpeper. It's my birthday. Took myself out for some latte flights. Here's me trying these iced lattes. They were bomb. Now we're off to Bali and Springs in Alexandria. Now this was an unexpected surprise. My girl pulled up on me. I had no idea she was going to be there. Now we're here just enjoying us some cute little backgrounds, enjoying ourselves a nice lunch, had us some sushi.
Are you ladies not getting anything?
Update, they did. Baddies. Now we're off to the rooftop pool. The temperature was absolutely amazing, as were the views. And yes, I had my girl follow me all around the pool. You ain't know we content creators, girl? Now come and get this content. It's my birthday. Record me. And the drink was amazing. Now we're just enjoying the jetted jacuzzi. Baddies. Here we came inside for some wine. This whole place was just such a vibe. Baddies. Here we're writing down 3 things to hang on this tree that we want to get rid of. If you know, you know. Now follow us into the sauna. I am not a sauna girly. I really don't know how y'all do it. I just cannot. And I thought that one was hot. Yeah, come in here.
Welcome to the desert.
145 degrees.
Right. It ain't hotter than me though.
It ain't hotter than us though.
Now this is the cutest little shop in downtown Alexandria called The Happy Place. I don't know how I've never heard of it before. Now off to Mia's for some yummy dinner and drinks. This tiramisu espresso martini, wow, was it strong.
Happy birthday, dear Ashley. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Thank you. Let me go back.
Please come true, please come true, please come true. Just walking around, enjoying the views. It was such a nice night. And the weather was just perfect. Now these beauties were delivered to my house while Al was out enjoying my birthday. This was such a nice surprise to come home to. Isn't she so pretty? Sheesh. Overall, it was an amazing day, amazing birthday. Year 36 is going to be great.
You know, after watching that, maybe it's for the best. Maybe he needs to be far, far away from you.